Yes, don't worry, buddy. Seriously, though. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one, the only, the Azothan, and we're back with part 3 of our Lordaeron the Foremath coverage. Lordaeron the Foremath is a mass war map game set in the Warcraft 3 engine. It is control point based when it comes to gold, and regular harvesting when it comes to lumber. Both can be traded, and let's see how this game is playing out. Last we left off, evil had never split. I was completely wrong about that in part 1, and I'm sure people have commented on it a dozen times over. However, that doesn't matter. The Alliance is going to defend Thandol Span against the Undead and Legion combined. I have a suspicion this is going to go to the Alliance. This is just me calling it a little bit early perhaps, but from what I'm seeing, it's not looking good for evil. Max Stroke is in a spot of trouble. Ooh. 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 I hate fighting all of them, says Jorlorn, but they are losing. This is true. But they haven't been managing to do that very well, and the Alliance has managed to fight together more often than not. Kel'Thuzad now on the run. He can only be hurt by magic attacks and spells in ghost form, but there's more than enough of those when it comes to the Dalaran mages. So it's kind of a bad situation. Gray, is that all you have? Poor Gray. He's going to spread the plague. Ooh. Don't mind me, fellas. My name's Kel'Thuzad. Alright, Thandol Span battle coming up. The Undead are trying to make a push across, but without the... What the fuck? Okay, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. I want to know where his allies are at. Alright, Brown's in there. Give him credit for that. Brown is moving up with whatever units he has. Teal does not seem to be very active. He did suffer a lot of losses. Dark Horde is super far down south for some reason, attacking Amaranth's Bloodwatcher point. I get it, but the thing I don't get is Blue's decision to attack 3 players head-on across a choke point that he can't win this fight. This is a terrible idea. A new brat goes down and the Blood Elves are now on the field again, swearing vengeance against the Undead. I'd say back it the hell up, Blue. Please, Lich King, please just back up. Professor Putricide is still here trying to do his best to support. He has healing waves, he has poisons against his enemies, some corpse explosions, but it's not enough to turn back this huge force of Alliance, and I mean massive. This is a real Alliance army. Dwarven riflemen, human mages, elven archers, griffin riders, and holy crap. That was a very temporary buff, but pretty sure that was for Magni. Uh-oh. Magni, careful. If Magni gets too far forward, he could very easily die, and Magni is at this point, with the loss of Ironforge, a one-off hero. Morgor gets a little bit too deep, may suffer the consequences of getting too close to an Elven Archer line. Those frost arrows are annoying, but I think he's gonna barely pull it out. Oh. You lucky bugger. And the Argent Crusade has been formed. Lord Tyrion Fordring taking control of the forces of the Silver Hand and establishing a base in Northrend. I think Blue's about to have trouble. Uther and Tyrion, hell yes. This is a double dose of old man badassery about to show up. Look at all the gray in their beards. That's years of experience at ass kicking about to come down on him. And Light Blue's doing decent on his upgrades as well. Nothing to sneer at, not quite as good as our Lich King player, but this is what he's doing what the Undead failed to do, which is split the attention of the forces. Sure, they're like, alright, I guess if the Undead are down here currently fighting us, let's send a force up north. Clearly we've wiped out Rapsys, the majority of his forces, doesn't have much power for the Cult of the Damned, and look at that. Lich King is forced to teleport up north to deal with the Argent Crusade. Keep going, Light Blue, says Jorlorn. I'm hoping we see the Elves or someone else join him. Yes, there it is. The Ranger Corps and the Argent Crusade now against the Undead. This is highly advantageous for the Alliance right now. They've been getting the better of the combat so far. They've been getting more levels, more experience. They've been keeping their army together more, losing fewer units. I just have to say, going into this, it seems like they have all of the advantages. Green takes a hot second to do some creeping, and here come the Lordaeron mages teleporting in with the Tears Fall agents. Can light blue hold on for a minute? Small amount of AoE goes down, but Uther says, no, lads, you shall not fall this day. For the Alliance, by the holy light. Now, we've seen this choke point go down before. We know what's happening here. Unfortunately, I was wrong about one thing. Looks like the Shadow Council has decided to jump in and help as well. They only have 3 control points, and they are at a disadvantage, but at least their help might be enough to turn this. I would have saved Karabun for just a little bit later until they were invested. If Dreadlord goes down to the mass archers, I would have saved it. Moved him a little bit further up, and then utilized it. Oh my god, the edges are touching. Look at that, the tips. I don't know if they're overlapping. They're technically not. The hair's breadth of difference between those 2 invulnerability globes. Don't cross the streams, guys. Alright, Undead's doing a great job. You can see Professor Putricide throwing out his AoE heals. They're dropping down as many anti-magic shells as they can. But you know what doesn't care about your anti-magic shell? A whole line of Elven archers just constantly shooting this out. And with the creation of the Argent Crusade, Paladins are now Paladin Knights that are capable of using Exorcism against demonic units and undead units. With that, Haldurin, not Haldurin, but Antonidas activating his ultimate, which is a Starfall like a spell. Starfall like a spell. It's a Starfall spell. On top of Blizzard, this is going to wipe out the majority of evil forces. Sure, Anubrag is still here. Sure, he's quite tanky still. Will he be enough? Not on his own. Can't even select the poor guy. Alright, let's speed this back up to normal times and see what's up. No pressure across Thandol span. Looks like Legion's being very passive while their allies get riggedy rocked. Putricide and Anubrag in the back like, do you want to go in? I don't want to go in. I don't really want to go in either. Also, for the love of the game, can we just point out the best model in the game right now? An Acolyte riding an Abomination for the Professor Putricide model. Holy crap, is that cool. Even when I lose my head. Cool. Come on, use your escape ability. Do not lose your corrupted Naru. Please. Alright, teleported back to Akendun. Good call. Still nothing going on in the north. This is the only fight currently going on. Antonidas leading the charge. Poor Nerubian guards getting slaughtered. Their heavy armor extremely weak against the spells and slings being chucked out. Alright, the retreat continues all the way to Dragon Rest. What's this? Are they going to make an attempt to hold? Well, at least they're going to try to slow them down. Plague Cauldron's out. And so are Dispels. Never mind. How much health does your average zombie have now? I wish I could click on the damn thing. The world may never know. This is horrible. Ooh, yes, this is exactly what I was hoping to see. It looks like the Legion has realized that the majority of the damaging forces, 3 of them to be exact, are now fighting up in Northrend, and it's time to push. They've got a huge army right now, and Thoradin's Wall is the only chance the Alliance has to kind of slow down this massive force. The amount of AoE, chaos damage, and just danger represented by the Dark Horde. I'd want a wall too. Alright, Professor Putricide's going down. How's Northrend handling itself? Drak Theron's about to go down. Anubrag and Professor Putricide have both been murdered, mostly because Jorlorn's just being cheeky with his archer spam. Guys, remember, there are ways to kill this. It's just he's been very smart about where he positions his forces. He hasn't put them too far out, he's always behind his enemies, and nobody seems to want to target them with siege damage. The Blood Elves have activated an event, gaining themselves an extra hero in the form of Aethys Sunreaver, and a few Blood Elves here at Sunreaver Command Post in Northrend. Looks like they're intent on helping their allies finish this fight. Let's check back down south at Thornton's Wall. The dwarves are building towers, probably going to put a few dwarven keep towers up. And if the Legion doesn't make some kind of push here in a minute... See, this is the stalemate that I'm talking about. Everything gets really calm for a minute or two before the shit hits the fan all over again. Have you ever had shit hit your fan? It gets messy very quickly. There's no cleaning it up. Just gotta move. You just gotta fucking move after that. Oh, this is bad. 6/6 upgrades now from our green player. Jorlorn can kill anything he wants to. Targeting down Kel'Thuzad with his spells. I love the play. Oh, yes. Look at this. Jorlorn, I don't think has any dispels. Saldor Shadowbrook might have one. But that Plague Shield is starting to tear through his forces. Yeah, that's right. Back it up, baby. Dalaran mages are going to make an attempt. Drakthar. Oh, no. This is the end of the Cult of the Damned. Drakthar and Keep cannot stand the assault between the Silverhand, Dalaran, and the Elves. The Legion doesn't push. This is about to be a GG. Even when I lose my head. Look, it's a tough choke point at the best of times. And this is not the best of times. Malaran's Demonesses can mind control, but he doesn't have Green's Demonesses, which can really change the course of this battle. If Green's Demonesses were here, they could drop down their AoE ranged damage block. But right now, if you're wondering what just did that, that was Muradin goddamn Bronzebeard's ultimate spell that just did that AoE damage. It's sort of a massive thunderclap kind of thing, and you can see what it does. Now, there's a way to kind of fix this, but Green's not here, so they can't actually fix that. Dalen, oh my god, Poet, what just happened? Oh no. Oh, Dark Green got cocky down south. Dark Green was running around harassing, and Silence had had enough of it, and he used his spearmen to net those Zeppelins down. Like juicy hero experience pinatas is what those were. Alright, good on him. Dark Green's out of the fight for a little bit, and the battle at Thornton's Wall continues. Now, if only Terran Gorfiend were here with his healing AoE aura, you could just park him right in the back and let it counter all this AoE damage. But he's not, and it's not. Nice positioning on the Proto-Drakes with their multi-shots. I would say try to get them a little bit... Actually, I would have positioned them down here on the bottom side, because all these units down here are unarmored, taking extra damage from piercing. And siege as well. Right here, the dwarves just have all the counters to that. They have rifles. They have fucking guns, bro. Alright, Ren Blackhand activating his own personal divine shield, Unholy Shield. And the retreat. And there's the death of Draktheron. Rabsi, have you retreated? He's walking Kel'Thuzad across the ocean. What? Alright, Wrathgate's the next thing to be under assault. The dwarves are very confident. They say it's fine. Meanwhile, Bigwig with his Succubi. By the way, massing Succubi is a decent strategy for Teal. They do chaos damage. They attack relatively quickly, and there's a lot of them. The only thing you have to be careful of if you decide to use the strategy is mass spells or mass AoE damage back, because they fucking see exactly what happens there. It's the War of the Health Bars. Now, new players, it is acceptable to play with health bars on in the beginning, because at the end of the game, at the end of the day, positioning is more important than unit composition. But if you have both positioning and unit composition, you win. So both are equally important, but as far as it goes in a mass war game like this, it's more... Oh shit. I think Muradin just technically died. And Yup has decided to change his units into the Wild Hammers. Congratulations, Maz Dakrip is going to replace Muradin, or Magnite. More excited about this final fight here. Red Go says Yup. Wait, what do you mean Red Go? What? What do you mean, red go? This is not looking good for you. You cannot get your army near here. You're locked in Northrend. That's all you can do. Up north, slaughter. Witchywa receives a bunch of money from Silence X, which is a really nice gesture, actually. Really nice of him. I'll say that. And this is Light Blue's favorite strategy. Teleport into Shattrath, target down Auchindoun right away. Now, Green actually has a few units here and the money to potentially defend against it, but he's not building units. There we go. Come on, start making your casters, buddy. They're about to come in through this gate. The portal is about to be filled with angry, angry paladins. Alright, come on. Just a few more paladins. Just a few more. The Dark Horde does attempt to help their allies. A force sent out from Hellfire Citadel. It won't be enough. It might be enough if Green and Brown were to try to help here at the same time, but right now it's not enough. What kind of attack are possibly going down? Nefarian, Black Prince of the Dragonflight, summoned by Orange. He's trying to fly him through the portal and get him into Outland to help in time. Come on, Green. Leave your portal. Get in there. Nekrosh was slain. Silence. No! God, the Alliance is quick to move down south, and they crush Brown's forces here very quickly. I think this is it. I think the Alliance has proved that even in the face of insurmountable odds and losing most of the beginning of the game, they were able to turn this back against the enemy. Scavor, 17 armor knights. Look at this. The lands of the Alliance, though shattered by war, may one day be able to recover. But evil, the Legion, the undead, they will never be able to recover. Also, I feel like we're about to... I think someone's about to leave the game and we're going to stop seeing what probably would have continued on for a little bit longer. Silence, were you who sent it in, I have to wonder? Is it you? Aw, Light Blue. No one knows to fix? I don't know what that means. No one knows to fix? Oh. And the Dwarven flying group manages to target down the Dragon's Breath cannon. Normies. Well, that's rude. They're trying to help. Alright, Auchindoun's last assault. I think this kind of encapsulates the entire game. The Alliance has made their vengeance. They've had their revenge. That's Velen in the background, casting his ultimate spell, Tranquility, keeping his army alive. Green's doing his best. He's cast his Invulnerability Globe, but this is it. Auchindoun's most powerful spell being cast. It's sort of a soul reapy plague, monstrous looking thing. Oh my god! Pretty sure Tyrion Fordring just healed his enemies. Almost positive that's what I just witnessed. Goodbye, evil. You did your best. Unfortunately, you had a long way to fall, and your upgrades just don't quite match your enemies. With the fall of Auchindoun and the fall of Dragonmaw Keep, the Alliance takes the game. Oh, no, and now Dalaran's coming in just as it looked like Green might start to turn the tide. Dalaran arrives with constructionists, summoned units, AoEs, spells, polymorphs, slows. Oh my god. Well played, Alliance. At least Albig was willing to be a bigger man about it. You know what? We gotta give him credit for that. GG, they said, well deserved. Look at that. That's good, clean fun there. That was really a fun game. It was absolutely out of the normal, and I respect the hell out of everyone who stayed here and said GG. Good job to you, Silence, Rav, Amaranth. Let's go ahead before we all leave here. Shout out the MVPs of this game. I think Yup, the Dwarves might have done more help to his allies than anyone else in the game, but huge shout out to Amaranth, Maxstroke, Yup, Malernen, Witchywa, Jorlorn, and Scavor, and Silence for making it to the end of the game and making this almost a full game 6v6. very rarely see that. Usually the split happens earlier, and then you have the Alliance allying the Legion or the Undead or becoming the Rogue Alliance. So didn't even see the Old Gods at all. Didn't see Nerubians, Dark Irons, nothing. So congratulations, guys. This was a hell of a game. I had a blast shoutcasting it today. Please look at the download in the description. Lordaeron the Foremath is an amazing game that deserves far more attention than it gets. Let's go ahead and take a look at the scores here before we leave the game. So units produced, kind of makes sense. Call to the Damned just raised every goddamn dead body. The Undead, and yeah, Dalaran as well. Dalaran as well. See, Begweg went for a mass units type strategy, which again, not very good with the Legion. It's more about elite groups of units doing high amounts of damage. Again, not shocked that the Undead had the most units produced. Scavor with by far the most units killed on his team. I'm impressed, almost 200 more. But this tells you the story, right? Look at the number of kills the Alliance managed. And then everything else is evil. And I know you're probably thinking, well, the Alliance really just crushed them. It's because the Alliance played together as a team. The Alliance crushed armies one at a time, instead of allowing themselves to be crushed one at a time. They got their heroes leveled up. That helped them in the battles as well. Speaking of heroes, let's go ahead and look at these. Looks like Scavor, Jorlorn, Yup. Top 3 of the 4 best heroes belong to the Alliance team. Again, can't underestimate that. Heroes killed. Jorlorn? Yeah, that makes sense. God, it is hard to run away from those archers. Items obtained, 21 by Yup. You can tell the dwarves, I think, 20 of those probably teleports. Thanks for joining us, guys. This has been Azothan, and I'll see you in the next one.